Welcome to the Badass Direct Sales Mastery Podcast with your direct sales dom, Jennie Bellinger. Badass Direct Sales Mastery is a podcast for rock star direct sales moms who are determined to make their business kick ass. Jennie will share her knowledge of effective sales and recruiting techniques, tips to get what you want from your business, and will interview direct sales professionals and leaders from various companies. The interviews will give insight to how these rock stars got to where they are and where they plan to grow in the future. And now, the direct sales dom, Jennie Bellinger.
Welcome back to Badass Direct Sales Mastery. I'm your host, your direct sales dom, Jennie Bellinger, helping you whip your business into shape. Today, I have with me Kellie Lupsha. Now, Kellie has been in the wellness and healthcare space for over 28 years as a physical therapist, wellness expert, and business owner. Kellie coaches women with wellness programs, health coaching, and retreats. She's a top leader in network marketing and is passionate about teaching people to live extraordinary lives in health and finances. Kellie is the host of Thriving in Midlife, Redefining Aging with Wellness. Her ultimate purpose? Teach people to become the CEO of their own health. It is no longer an option. It is essential to take control of your health. Kellie, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. It's an absolute pleasure to be here and just so great to share with your audience.
Oh, I'm so excited about this conversation because, first of all, you are with a company that I've heard of, but we haven't had anybody from your company on the show. So you get to be a first. You're taking the badass virginity for your company. It's great.
Taking the badass. I love that. Oh my gosh. Well, it's a pleasure and a privilege to be first and to truly represent LifeVantage. So I'm excited.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So tell me a little bit. You've been in the business, healthcare, wellness space for a long time. How did you end up being introduced to, and what made you decide to add something like LifeVantage to your health and wellness toolkit?
Yeah. I mean, it's I always say, right, like something finds us. I didn't really go out there per se looking. And what was interesting is I had no idea in my life growing up as a kid that when my mom had a Mary Kay party or we had Avon or Tupperware, I didn't even know that was network marketing, right? I just saw things like this happen around me. She didn't do a lot, but a little. My brother dabbled, I think, like in Melaleuca or I don't know.
Yeah.
And I didn't quite even get it, to be honest, as a kid. Then as an adult, especially when I left running hospitals and I opened up my own practice, then I started to have a lot of people knocking on my door to sell their product, endorse their thing. And then I realized this was an industry.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of girlfriends in it selling all sorts of things, right? Anything from jewelry, nails, hair care, prepaid legal, you got it.
Yep.
But I still was like, well, I'm a physical therapist. I have a master's degree. I have my own practice. Why would I need to do this? I'm raising 4 kids. I don't have time. I'll support all of it, but I have a business.
Yeah.
Until I really realized when I was helping people, my client, I'm like, I need them to get better faster. I need to help them. I need to optimize their self. I'm looking for something. I didn't know what that would be. And then it came to me, interesting, at the time of my life. I don't know how I thought I could do this, but having my own practice, traveling around the world, teaching, raising 4 kids, I decided to start training for half Ironman. Yeah, just one more thing. Sometimes us women think we can do it all. I was kind of in the hustle grind mode of life. Now I'm we're done with that. But when I was training, I met a woman who was a leader. She was 52 at the time. And I was asking her, how do you train? How do you recover? How do you fuel your body? And at the end of her sharing all of this, she said, honestly, Kellie, for you and your practice and as a clinician, you need to know about this new product I'm taking. Maybe it could help some of your clients. I go, what do you mean? Because you're an athlete. My clients aren't athletes. Like, they have neurological disorders. She said, well, it did help my performance and my recovery, but I was battling congenital hypertension and this completely eliminated my hypertension. And I'm like, wait, what? So she says, yeah, you should learn about it. It's this product. I'm like, that's so fascinating. So honestly, she connected me with somebody. I did my research. Being in the traditional healthcare model, my husband and I were like, what is this thing? Is this gimmicky? Is this whatever? And what literally unfolded was what we call a unicorn company that had peer-reviewed science on PubMed.gov, had an ABC News piece that aired in 2005 that was 100% positive with this little publicly traded company. I'm like, huh. So if even half of what I'm reading and searching and looking at is true, not only do I need it and my family needs it, but all my clients need it. And so, okay, I'm in. And I just thought at that time I would just share because it would be helpful. And that was it at the time.
Wow. So, and forgive my ignorance because I've heard of the company. I don't know what they offer. So, obviously, it's in the health and wellness space because that's why you were attracted as a physical therapist and health coach. What are what's the flagship
Main
product? Yeah.
Absolutely. So the company is the activation company. Unlike supplementation that we're all used to hearing that kind of helps with the deficiency, tops off the tank, activation turns on your own body's processes, pathways, genes to heal and repair from the inside. So our tagline is we take it to make it. So very different concept is we're getting the body back to work.
That
So
is fascinating.
fascinating, right? And so the flagship product is called Protandem NRF2. Again, why do it's a little bit sciencey, it's not flashy and sexy. People are like, I can't even say it. So
Okay.
it's just the truth. And early on, like people are like, no thanks. Looks cooler, or this is more trending, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
sometimes wellness in the longevity anti-aging space isn't that exciting, or to
Mhm.
other people. I think so, but not everybody thinks so. And so, yeah, let me just give you a little bit of backstory. The company started not in network marketing. The company started as a retail biotech company.
Okay.
This gentleman, there was a scientist out of Duke University. He was a co-discoverer of one of the enzymes in our body that we make as an antioxidant called SOD, superoxide dismutase. And he just went on a quest of this is the antioxidant we make. How can we get the body to make more? It was a simple question. The body needs antioxidants. They're way more powerful if we make them versus if we take them. So, how can I get the body to make more? 40 years of research. Talk about a scientist. This could not have been me, right? Like we jump to thing to thing if it doesn't work. 40
Right.
years of research. And he says it was like finding a needle in two haystacks with a 5 herbal blend, very precise blend of the recipe, right? Because it's in the synergy of the recipe that
Right.
unlocks the body to make its own antioxidants. So not only SOD, but catalase, it upregulates glutathione by up to 300%. That's our body's master antioxidant. And what he didn't know that he was formulating at the time is he formulated it as what's called an NRF2 activator. And again, super sciencey, but for anybody out there, the NRF2 pathway is in all of us. What's going on in your body is different than my body and somebody else's body, but we all need that pathway optimized because that's the master regulator of gene expression. So if you imagine, right, your genes need to be tuned like a piano needs to be tuned. If the piano sits there and it's not tuned, it doesn't sound great, right? It's out of
Yeah.
tune. Things are sharp and flat. Well, over time with aging, toxins of the world, pollutants, chemicals, everything else that we know out there,
Yeah.
our genes can get damaged, or our positive genes, our good genes stop working as well, and negative genes start to express. So this literally goes in and says, no, 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 you negative genes, calm down. Hey, positive genes, get back to work again. So whether you want genes to activate your body to reduce inflammation, to help with detoxification, to help with antioxidant production, it's amazing.
That is okay. So I'm a former science teacher, right?
Oh,
But
okay.
so my badass crew, regular audience, they already know this. So they know that I'm nerding out over this. And what's so interesting is because for the past maybe 6 months or so, I feel like I've seen glutathione talked about a lot in a lot of different places, right?
Mhm.
Just in basic social media. But then, of course, I also have a huge network of network marketers. So there's a bunch of different companies and reps for, we help with this. And I'm like, what is it? Like, what does it do? Why do I care? Like, nobody's telling me why should I care about you need to
Glutathione.
increase your glutathione. And I'm like, uh-huh.
Okay, so let me tell
Why?
you,
What does it do?
right?
Tell me the outcome if I do this.
So glutathione is the master antioxidant,
Okay.
period. Okay.
Sweet.
And so that's what we want. And our body has the capability of making it. But unfortunately, people think I need a supplement of it. I need liposomal glutathione. I need an injection of glutathione. Your body can only assimilate and do a little bit with it because truly
Mm.
the power is within us making it. And so
Okay.
if you take one pill a day of Protandim Nerve 2, it can upregulate your glutathione by up to 300%. Nothing else out there can even do that. And if you think about whether you're taking a supplement from a product, Trader Joe's, the grocery store, whatever, or you're eating your way to good health, like your kale, your blueberries, right? We're eating our antioxidants. Our body fights one antioxidant to one bad guy, one free radical, and that equation is done. Okay. So when you're eating your way,
Okay.
it's a 1-to-1 ratio. And the difficulty is our bodies have trillions of free radicals, not a few, trillions. So if
Oh,
you're trying to eat your way to good health by just taking a supplement or eating your antioxidant full of, blueberries in your salad, that's not going to really fight that battle.
okay.
But now, when you take Protandim Nerve 2, those antioxidants our body makes, the three of glutathione, catalase, and SOD, each one of those molecules fights off 1 million free radicals per second, every single second. I mean, it's like, wait, what?
That is mind blowing.
It's mind blowing. If you look at the math and how many zeros, it's crazy. And so, kind of an easy analogy that I'll use for people is if the house you were in, if the structure was on, the whole thing was on fire.
Hmm.
We're all walking around, of course, with our, water bottles, right?
Yep.
If you had this full of water, but the structure was on fire and you thought, oh, let me just put this on the fire, would the water bottle even help?
Not so much. No.
Not so much. I say run out of that house and keep it for yourself. But that's what we're doing, trying to consume direct antioxidants.
Okay.
That's this, like, it's not doing anything.
Right.
But instead, imagine that you have a master switch
Mhm.
that turns on a huge fire hose in every single room of that burning structure, and it's blasting out that fire. Now you're going to start to make a dent in that fire, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's what the capability of when you activate a pathway inside, it has
Mhm.
way more benefit than taking an external antioxidant from the outside that we consume. There's just no comparison.
That's fantastic. That analogy right there. And I want to point out for people, like, let's take this to the business side of that, right? Because what I was getting to was the fact that I've been hearing about this and people are using this jargon, this conversation, but they're not sharing with me why it should matter to me, right? So on the business side, this is the, hey guys, if you want to sell more of whatever it is that you're doing, right? I don't care about the product. Do what Kelly did. Find, first of all, a great explanation of why they should care about it. What's in it for them, right? So this is the antioxidant. We'll treat the free radicals. If people don't know what that is, figure out how to explain it. I know what it is because I'm a former science teacher.
Right. Just think about it as aging, you guys, the rusting of your
Right.
cells, the aging, right? We all want to slow that down.
Exactly. But then the analogy of how that works and what that does, and then say, now that's what's happening in your body. Brilliant. And so, ooh, I just felt some people have a takeaway. They're like, okay, now I'm gonna, now I know what to do. I know what I'm doing wrong. Why I'm not selling as well? Because they're not sharing that story. So many great analogies there. So continuing on the business aspect now, because now that we've had a conversation about the company and the product, because I was like, I gotta know. You are now in the top 1% of your company with what you're doing. What was that journey like going from never heard of the product to signing on, and what is that on the business side? What was that like for you? Tell us about your journey from where you were to where you are.
Yeah, so good. And along the way, of course, as the company with the activation company and take it to make it, now we have several products, right, that activate the body
Yeah.
beyond just Protandim Nerve 2. You can activate the body from within to make its own collagen. You're turning on the
Oh.
genes to make collagen versus taking collagen. You can turn on the
Mm.
genes to turn on your hormone of GLP-1 versus just help gut support to improve your body for GLP-1. So it's very much this whole, again, take it to make it. Our bodies are so powerful. So, in the business side, initially we had a lot of success out the gate because we just shared it with some patients. They all got a little better. And it was like, oh, this network marketing thing's just so easy. Everybody wants it. But then outside of our practice, I'm like, oh, it's not that easy.
Right, right.
Oh, it's actually a business. So, I would say my first couple years, still with 4 kids and a full-time practice, we did a little and
Mhm.
we were making decent money, but I was not top of mind. I didn't have
Yeah,
it even like I'm running a business. It was very much a side gig, I'll say.
yeah, yeah.
Um, Once COVID hit and our
Mm.
physical therapy clinic was shut down, I was like, what have I been sitting on? Like, I've done well, and that certainly helped, literally helped us financially during the COVID times when we weren't making any money for a few months.
Yeah.
And even after that, right, to get a business back going again is a challenge.
Yeah.
I was like, I've been sitting on a gold mine. I'm
Mhm.
like, this is a company that no one knows about, is publicly traded, has patents on their products, has science on their products, is category creating. Nobody even has this technology. What am I doing? And so, honestly, that's when I went to work and I said, I'm going to reach out. We started following just a very simple system, right? And that's what I realized is I, as a medical provider, was making this way too complicated. And I think so much of us
Yeah.
do that. It's way more complicated. And it's like, no, 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 no. Listen to somebody. They share with you their problem. You tell them you may have a solution, right? We just are solving problems.
Yep.
And following a very simple method, we call it ITT. You invite somebody to take a look. Oh, based on what you said, you might be interested. Can I show you whatever, right? Just ask. And 9 out of 10, they're like, or even 10 out of 10, they're like, oh, sure. What do you have? Of course, I'm interested. But again, you're not sharing them a 2 hour something. It's in today's technology, a minute, 2 minute. Like, I mean, people's attention is quick. So let
Yeah.
me grab your attention. But while I grab your attention, let me show you a tool, some sort of quick other picture or, before and after or a story. And let me bring you to the team. So putting them
Mm.
in three-way chats and three-way messengers, things like that. So they're like, oh, it's not just Kelly telling me, it's Kelly and, oh, it's also social proof. Oh, you also shared with me this private educational Facebook group with all these other stories and testimonials. And so when you start making it so simple that everybody you talk to can be your audience, right? I mean, I
Yeah.
build a big business online today. I
Yeah.
also do a lot in person because I mean, connection and communication is everything. Like the energy you feel, the excitement, the experience is like no other when you're together.
Yeah.
But
Agreed.
in general, it's let's make this so simple, so repeatable, and let's have more fun because it should be ease and flow. And that's really what we're trying to get people like there is no hustle and grind, travel every night, out of time away from your family. Like, who wants that? Now, of course,
Yeah.
there's seasons that we
Right.
all in business like go and we're working
Yes.
hard, 100%. But in general, it still should be fun. And
Yeah.
that's what I just say, it still should be fun. So today, my real goal is we were talking earlier about leadership, and
Yeah.
my whole goal is leadership because we need to be the light. We need to be the role model. And first and foremost, just like I feel like I'm a role model for my clients, I'm a role model for my kids. I'm a role model for the people that want to join me and become business partners because they're not going to do what I say, they're going to do what I do.
Yeah. No, and I think that's so super important. You pointed out a few different things, and I want to highlight those. Replicatable, simple and replicatable business. It's got to be that because the more difficult you make it, the more complicated that you make it, other people feel like they have to do the same thing, and they're less likely to give it a try,
Mhm.
right? To hop in. So there's that. The second piece was fun. Have fun, right? Like, people look at me like I'm crazy when I talk about going and doing some of the things that I do in business, and I'm like, "But those are fun." And they're like, "How do you think that's fun?" I'm like, "'Cause I take the fun wherever I go." Right? Like
Exactly. We're responsible for our own energy and our own I mean, come on.
right? And so, by making sure that you're having fun, then other people are like, "Oh, I need more of that in my life." And I think that really helps engender with those who are coming on with you. That may be part of that attraction piece. Is that they're going, "I don't have enough fun in my life, and she's having fun over there. I maybe that's what I need to add more fun in my life," right? So, pointing that piece out. And then I think that the last part you talked about was the leadership, like developing other leaders. So it's not just about you being a leader. What I heard you say was helping other people get into leadership. Is that right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So let's go down that path because that is not spoken about nearly enough in our
Oh my gosh.
industry. I
And that, what's interesting is somehow as a kid, I always found myself as like the captain of the team, the president of my sorority. Like I always was the gatherer and I'm like, I don't know, it's just fun. And so naturally it kind of came to me. Some people like that's just not their thing. But I say, you know what? Every single one of us is a leader. And so
Mhm.
I want to meet not just the people I enroll, but I reach out to everyone within my business because you need to find those leaders. Who's ready to shine? Who in life lifts us up? Not really. I was just telling my husband the other day, I needed help with somebody and something, and I called this woman and she was like, "Of course I'll help you immediately." And we don't know each other that well. But she's in our company and like no problem. And I was telling him how much I just respected her and loved her. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to leave her a voice message right now because she needs to know that. But
Yeah.
we don't tell people that. Usually it's the negative, like, you didn't do this, stop doing that, change this. We don't elevate each other enough. And so I really try in my business to, congratulations, way to go. How can I help you? Let's talk about that. How can you show up differently? Like, honestly, personal development is huge and we all can be the best version of ourselves. And so I want people in that, like, a leader doesn't mean you have 200 people under you. A leader, you don't need
Yeah.
anybody to be a leader, right?
Yes.
So
Oh my God.
Don't wait.
Oh my gosh. If y'all aren't watching the YouTube on this, because I may or may not have to put this on YouTube just for that, like for people to see my reaction, my physical reaction to that, right? Because I've said for years, leadership starts with yourself. So, how did you start leading yourself? And how do you work with your team to do the same?
Yeah, really great question. Every day, I have a couple people that I follow in personal development. One of them is Brendan Burchard. He's one of the top high performance habits guy. I did his huge mastermind program. And so not only am I a part of his growth day program, but I've gotten my team to be a part of it. So they're listening to it every day. They're setting the right expectations. If they're not hearing me, it's other people, which you need to
Yeah.
immerse yourself in the community of positive, uplifting, right minded. And so, what's my routine for the day? I can establish my energy for the day. Another woman I introduced my team to, her name is Kathy Heller, about we all have this ability to tune as a receiver out there in the world that don't wait to get the things because you want all these things because of how it's going to make you feel. Feel it today. We have the capability of feel it today and everything will come to you, right? Again, don't wait. Start with that feeling. So really teaching people some of these principles, and some people love it and they're all in. And other people are on the sideline listening and I just let them be on the sideline and listen. And if
Yeah.
one day they get inspired or something, I just say I'm not here to drag anybody along. I'm here to show them the light, and when they're ready to see the light or they become the light, then let's go. It's
Ah.
so good.
That is so, so good. Because if you're going to be dragging them into the business or dragging them to their first promotion or you're going to be dragging them for their entire business for the most part.
That's right.
I mean, every once in a while, yeah, there's the odd case study where somebody got dragged until, right? But for the most part, you can't want it more than they want it themselves. I
No.
mean, that's a hard thing, but oh, I love that.
And
Guys,
then one
you
other thing about
uh-huh.
business, if I can
Yeah,
share,
please do.
which this is, I think for everybody out there, there's been this little bit of uncertainty in network marketing because they've seen what's happened with several companies around, right? And 2 years ago, the company said, we want to take a huge vested interest to support how we support consultants, meaning they looked at how people were getting paid.
Yeah.
And in years ago in network marketing, it was all about building a team.
Yeah.
But today in network marketing, it's really so many people just want to have an affiliate link, right? They just want to sell to a few people, whether it's online as an influencer, whether it's a chiropractor in an office. They're like, I just want a product to sell for my clients and customers. That's
Yeah.
it. But in old school models, that didn't actually make you much money.
Right.
So they said, listen, we need to stay current. We're going to invest and bring a whole auditing company in, look at every aspect, look at what's current in every industry of, I'll say, side gig industries, even outside of
Yeah.
network marketing. How are
Yeah.
people making money? How do they want to get money? How? And so they revamped this. And I will tell you now, when you get paid for the right behaviors and you get paid immediately for the right behaviors, it's like, oh, I should do this again. So
Mm-hmm.
that was a big game changer for the business side of people to tell people because before your behavior didn't always match what you got paid. And
Yeah.
now, as a direct link, I can tell people, listen, they're like, I want to be able to make $500. I'm like, great. You do this, you'll get this. Oh, okay, let's go. I mean, it's just so simple. And you're getting paid, weekly, monthly. You're not waiting, even daily. So just like people want to like drive Uber because they get paid right away.
Yeah.
Well, now you can do that and you don't have to go drive Uber.
That is phenomenal because I love that you're able to, from the what sounds like an updated compensation
Correct.
plan,
Mhm.
be able to go and like be able to create predictable outcome based on activity, which is not the case in every company out there. I have stood on my soapbox. One of my episodes in the podcast has been I am planting my flag on this. I will die on this mountain when it comes to talking about comp plans. If somebody can't sit down, look at the comp plan and go, I want to make $500. What do I need to do? And if they can't figure it out without doing freaking calculus, it's too hard. They're never going to be able to do it. They're not going to do it. And you're going to lose them.
100%. No, it's so true.
Oh my God.
And we have seen a rapid growth in the business. The same time the company did that 2 years ago, they
Yeah.
did come out with a couple groundbreaking products, which is like, oh, and now it's like exploding, right?
Yeah.
And I've been in 11 years. 11 years ago, social media was not what it once was then to what it is today either. So, you make it fit into your life, but it's amazing.
Yeah. No, I think that's so true. And oh my gosh, we could talk forever. I can just tell we could talk forever. This is phenomenal because really I highly recommend Badass Crew. I'm talking to you right now. Like, favorite this episode, whatever app you're using to listen, go back and listen again because I'm telling you, there are so many things that if you got your mind blown early on with something she said that you're like, oh, that's something I should do. And then your brain went off in a trajectory and you probably missed the next wonderful nugget. I want you to come back and listen to this episode like once a week for like a month because you're going to hear something different each time you come back and listen, even though you're like, your brain is going to go, I've already heard that. Yeah, just give it a minute because you're going to be like, wait a minute. She said what? I didn't hear that the last time I listened. This is gold, you guys. Seriously, make sure you go back and listen. Like, favorite it, come back, listen to it again, put it on rotation, put it in your calendar. Like, next time you go to the gym, listen to it again, because this is so important to hit so many of these things to understand keeping your business simple. How do you lead yourself? Y'all. Oh, I love this. Now, Kellie, can't keep talking to you forever. I wish I could, but we have things to do. You have things to do. My badass crew has things to do. So, but you have offered a wonderful, fabulous mini course to be able to help people because, of course, all of us who are in business should be making sure we're taking care of ourselves and especially taking care of our energy. And so you've got a mini course to help people take care of their energy. Tell us about it and how can we get to it?
Oh my gosh, you guys, yes, it's absolutely my gift for all of you. And it is not a course, meaning you're sitting down for hours watching. No, no, no. It's three little video clips, right? I'm not even call them modules, three short video clips that you can literally apply today. And if you can do these three basic things, you're going to go, wow, I'm more in flow. Where did that energy come from? I didn't need an extra cup of coffee. Most of the time, we're not giving ourselves some of the basics. We jump to the like, crazy stuff, right? But we
Yeah.
forget to do some of the basics. So, three easy steps that you will, if you can implement into your day, you're going to regain your energy back and really feel better about yourself. As a healthcare provider, my big thing is if you don't have the foundation of health and wellness, it's really hard to build on. Everybody wants the fancy, shiny, give it to me now. But let's go back to the basics. And I promise you, you will love yourself for it. So down in the show notes, I know you'll have a
Yep.
link down there that they can grab it and, reach out to me and let me know if it helped you. Honestly, I'd love that.
Well, and here's what I talk to the Badass Crew quite often about if you took something from today's episode, from my talk with Kellie, if something hit you and you feel it's going to help you improve day by day, 1%, 10%, whatever, because you're able to now implement, whether it's a business thing or you end up, going and taking this mini course, watch those 3 short videos, guys. If you find value, reach out to Kellie and say thank you. The highest vibration is gratitude. Reach out and say, thank you for this. This is what you said. This is how it helped. Or this is the video that really made an impact on me. Thank you. So my Badass Crew already knows how to get to the show notes because we talk about this almost every episode. But in case this is your first time ever listening and you're a newbie badass member of the Badass Crew, what we'd like to do is let you know, just if you're listening to today's episode on your favorite podcast app, grab your phone, as long as you're not driving, scroll up on the episode and you'll see the show notes or episode notes right underneath Kellie's picture. And you'll be able to grab that link to go check out those 3 short videos and get your energy back. Because I know that energy the energy industry is huge right now. If people can do these 3 short things, you don't have to go buy that energy drink at the convenience store. I mean, come on, y'all.
That's right. Generate it, right? We can generate it.
Absolutely. And so, of course, if somebody wants to express their gratitude to you, what's the best way that they can connect with you?
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me. And the best way to have you guys reach out is find me over on Instagram. It's really easy. My name, Kellie, is unique. I'm with an IE. And so I am the only, just like you, right? I'm the
Yep.
only Kellie Lupsha out there on social media. So go find me on Instagram at Kellie Lupsha. I also have a website. It's also allkellielupsha.com. Very easy to find. But I would love to have some conversations with you over in Instagram.
Oh, fantastic. Well, and of course, guys, if you want to make sure you spell it right, just go to the show notes, click on the link. It'll open right up into Instagram. Click follow, send her a message, and, express that gratitude. It is so important. It makes you feel good to share, and it's going to make her feel good to hear that her time here, if one of you reaches out, it's worth it. Oh my gosh. Fantastic. Kellie, thank you again for being here. I'm not kidding. I'm not exaggerating in any way, shape, or form. This whole episode has been gold. I mean, I'm such a science nerd that some people were probably like, wait, what?
I know.
But that's okay. The other nerds in our life are so happy right now. So thank you for being here. I'm so glad we were connected, and I cannot wait to see how we can help shift some lives just from this conversation. Thank you again for being here.
Such a pleasure.
Absolutely. And of course, Badass Crew, you know how this goes. Stay tuned because there's another badass episode on its way.
Thanks for listening to the Badass Direct Sales Mastery Podcast with your direct sales dom, Jennie Bellinger. Why are you waiting to go to badassdirectsalesmastery.com? Don't make the dom get her whip. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to share it with another rock star that you know in direct sales after you subscribe to the podcast so you won't miss any future episodes. You can also check out the show notes for links and any contact information mentioned in today's episode. We'll see you next time.